Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to some Festive Feud Fan Fridays, and besides being a lot of alliteration, it's probably going to be the theme for this week. I don't know if every battle will be a Festive Feud, but we're going to see how this ends up looking, how the strategies develop. It could be something really fun to check out. And while the Pokemon, they don't feel too holiday spirit, we do have those red, green, and white Christmas colors. Let's go into the battle. I already see some patterns. We got dual Tyranitar, someone else is using a Latios, and also has the Togekiss on their side. So we have the colors down, but will we have the strategy? And looks like Tyranitar is going to put a little damper on our day by giving us a Sandstorm. Ooh, that might make it lag, because triple battles are always fun to commentate, but they do get a little stally, like, you know, if everyone's taking damage and leftovers healing and there's lag from the Sandstorm. But it looks like the game's holding up pretty well right now. And Leafeon going to clear immediately with that sunny day. So yeah, this is a pretty slow and vulnerable open, and Leafeon gets that sunny day going. Tyranitar has that Iron Head. Togekiss going to avoid it, and the Leaf Guard is going to make Will-O-Wisp miss. And then we have the Metronome going to go for a Psycho Boost. Hey, that's actually a good roll on the Metronome. Hits Rotom for over half its health, and no Citrus Berry. So Rotom is probably going to have leftovers, and Cacturne protected itself from the spiky shield. Good stuff overall. Alright, just a pretty standard first turn, and that's going to be a Sucker Punch onto the Flareon, doing about 80%. That is going to be Rocky Helmet damage, and nothing else. I wonder what Cacturne's item is. Like, if it had Life Orb, that should have been a KO. So Cacturne actually has decent damage, but it fell short because it didn't have the item matchup. And Solar Beam, that is definitely going to be Rotom getting knocked out by the Leafeon. You'd expect Leafeon to have something else. It would be like physical. Leaf Blade, I don't know. I wonder what the damage is, depending on like how the special attack compares to the attack if you're using a high base power move like Solar Beam. Anyway, that is going to be a boosted Flamethrower, knocking out the Cacturne, and suddenly that turn went pretty bad. 2 down, not for free. Togekiss sustained some damage, and now Talonflame is on the field. Alright, that's going to be Talonflame with the Flare Blitz, and that's definitely going to knock out Sylveon if it doesn't have Focus Sash, and it does not. So that's going to be 1 down right there. Tyranitar should finish off the Togekiss. Looks like it's Scarf, just keeps throwing out the Iron Head, and it's also getting some good outspeed, so that's going to be something. And Zangoose, Night Slash finishing off on the Flareon, so if Iron Head lands, we're good to go. Does that mean it's like Bright Powder on the Togekiss if that missed? So Tyranitar, Iron Head, boom, Togekiss, and suddenly the revenge is real. Goes from being kind of slow and vulnerable to just finishing off 3 Pokemon. That's going to be Zangoose with that Toxic Orb. And the opponent has 3 Pokemon left. Latios isn't going to get touched by that Night Slash, so that's pretty good for it. Tyranitar versus Tyranitar matchup, going to clear out the Sun. And Volcarona on the opposing side as well. So Volcarona is still going to be threatened by the Brave Bird, but these super effective hits on the corners not going to be able to touch. And that's going to be Mega Tyranitar being shown right there. I like how when it Megas, there's nothing else on its side of the field. You can see like the entire battlefield. And Brave Bird. So yes, that is going to be the Brave Bird onto the Volcarona. And it looks like, I'd imagine Talonflame is pretty OP in the Festive Feud. Just the way that it can outspeed, get so much damage. That's going to be Recoil. That's going to be pretty solid right there. Latios has the Ice Beam. Ooh, interesting choices, except not really. I thought he was going to aim for, wow, okay. That's going to be Close Combat from the Zangoose, knocking out the Tyranitar. I was expecting Latios to throw the Ice Beam on Talonflame, because that should finish it off. But it looks like that's going to pretty much be it. It's just Latios. Tyranitar has a Stone Edge. That's going to be a solid amount of damage. And Talonflame gets that Buffet right there. So, if he plays it safe, he might not even lose his Talonflame, unless he wants to, like, sacrifice it on that Brave Bird. But overall, the opponent has really no options and nothing that can be done in this situation, and that's going to be Feint. Can't really do anything. Talonflame with the Brave Bird right there. So there we go, and that is going to be our first Festive Feud battle. I think it's a good battle that just kind of sets the mood. We see, you know, we see the common Pokemon maybe, like Tyranitar and Talonflame definitely, probably a lot of Volcarona as well, but Talonflame really scares off the Volcarona, and it does go down to its own recoil. So good amount of back and forth. The first couple turns went well for the opponent, and then suddenly just like ultimate speed revenge. We didn't even see the Venusaur, which could also work as like anti-sunny day team on the opponent. I don't know. It looks like we gotta see some more Fan Fridays to find out. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope to see you guys in the next Fan Fridays.